we started looking for a home that we wanted to be our forever home, we wanted something that had good bones. And we felt that the house that we chose had really good bones, but it did have, well, it had a few unattractive things. One of them was a very dated looking kitchen. Now this kitchen had been remodeled. It was not its original 1959 kitchen, but I'm going to speculate and say it was remodeled back in the 90s, and they chose a dark finish, and it was a very dark kitchen. And it's not very fun to cook in a dark kitchen.
It's not, but the kitchen, it was a nice kitchen. Don't get me wrong. And when you look at the pictures, many people will be very satisfied with the kitchen. But upon closer inspection, the cabinets were broken. The stove, it's a Thermador, a nice stove at the time, was badly damaged. The refrigerator was leaking. We had a little problem. So we both came to the conclusion that one of the things we had to do with this kitchen is remodel it.
One of the very first things we decided to do in the kitchen was move the existing door. Well, we are about to start our kitchen remodeling. The first thing we're going to do is get rid of this door and get rid of this window. But why? Why would you get rid of a door? That's letting light in. No, it's not letting that much light in. You can see that there is a dark wall literally 3 feet from the window, and we're only getting a little bit of light in at the top. So we are closing this up, and this is going to be a wall of floor to ceiling cabinets like this with a bar in the middle, a little coffee bar area. And we are going to be making this beaded window, which is really hard to see through, into a clear French door, which will go all the way down, which will then allow us access to this part of the outside, which we haven't been able to directly access. So that is our first step in the kitchen remodeling. Well, we didn't care for the dark faux wood cabinets. My mother fell in love with them and declared that they would be hers as soon as we remodeled the kitchen. So on demo day, we didn't demo the cabinets as much as we removed them gingerly so that I could take them to my mother.
When we first moved in, we had contractors come up and take a look at it. And the numbers we were getting were $75,000 to $150,000 just for the cabinets in very low level grade granite.
We knew we wanted white cabinets, but we didn't want that same white kitchen that everybody does, that you see all over the shows. We wanted it white and bright, but not generic.
And with kind of sharp edges. Even though the cabinets may look like pretty common cabinets, we wanted to add glass inside the upper cabinets to give it more of an openness. And also the kitchen, although we thought was small initially, we thought the cabinets being with glass would open it up, give it more depth. And as a result of that, I think we started to come up with some good ideas.
At first, we went, like so many people do, to Lowe's.
Yeah.
And we were all ready. We were sitting down and designing the kitchen with people at Lowe's, and they said, well, you're going to have to apply for credit.
Yeah, and we did. And
we knew it was going to be great because you have spotless credit.
Right. And then they decided to delay on the credit card, and we were a little baffled by that. But when Lowe's held back on the credit card, because that gave us a greater discount, I decided to look at other vendors, and I ended up going back to Orange County, and that's when I found Premier Cabinets. I spoke to Bryce. Bryce came out, he spoke to Monique, and what were your thoughts?
We liked his numbers. We liked what he had to say. We liked really everything about it.
These numbers were $12,000 less than Lowe's.
$12,000 less
Yeah.
than Lowe's.
And so we decided to go with Premier Cabinet. So
The people who installed the cabinets were terrific. There was Edwin, Delia, and Alberto. And they did a great job putting our kitchen together. They worked so hard building those cabinets, getting them level, and just detailing everything. The company that they worked for was Kitchen Construction Services.
now, Bryce through Premier Cabinets had set that up. So when they arrived, I think the one thing we were both very impressed with was Edwin's wife, Delia, was working and she was right there working just right next to the men.
Yeah, she was holding her own.
Yeah, we were so pleased and
I
impressed.
love seeing women hold their own with men.
Yeah. Wait a minute. So we went with Best Buy, also known as Pacific Sales these days. And we were trying to get the cabinets and the appliances in at about the same time. Turned out we got the cabinets in, but then the appliances
We
just
had to
didn't
wait.
come. Yeah, and it was killing us to some extent. But at the end of the day, we end up finding a beautiful granite.
When we had been considering Lowe's, one of the things that we were very disappointed by was the selection of granite.
Yeah.
It was going to leave us with a very generic looking kitchen. And we didn't want a generic looking kitchen. We wanted our kitchen to look special and interesting. We looked at a lot of different granites, many colors, many variations, and trying to picture them.
We looked at quartz. We looked at, we wanted something that would hold up to the heat, not stain easily.
And not be plain white.
Right. And we went through probably 5 or 6 stone yards looking for what we were looking for. And one day I happened to get off of work a little early. I went back to a place we had gone to but didn't find what we were looking for. And there were 2 really large sheets of the granite that you see now.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
You sent me pictures and I was like, yes.
And then, so after we got the granite, we still hadn't gotten the cabinets, but then we sent it out to get fabricated.
We had the fabricator come in and measure, and then we met with the fabricator out at the slab yard to approve of the positioning for all of the counters.
When we did the granite, we initially had more than enough granite to cover the kitchen, and Monique had suggested a waterfall.
Yeah.
And I was like initially resistant. I thought, the extra
The extra expense.
I was like, I really, had enough at that point. But when you see this waterfall, it is beautiful. I wish I had a little more foresight and would have been able to do a waterfall on the other side. Not so much of where the stove is, but where the door is. But
That would have been pretty.
that would have been pretty. But thank you, sweetheart, for making that work.
Thank you for agreeing to it.
And then we added a new window above the sink. The Frank sink was great, as well as the Frank hardware, the faucets. We added a water purifier running through filters underneath the sink.
It's really nice having purified water available at our tap.
The refrigerator arrived in February, not January, and definitely not October.
And getting that in was quite an endeavor.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
I know, it's gorgeous. I didn't think it would fit.
While we absolutely loved the soft gray-green neutrality of our granite, it was hard to decide what to do with tile. So many possibilities. We finally decided on a tile that was a handmade, like a subway tile, but it was handmade and glazed and had a bit of a texture to it that gave it a feeling of movement. So it wasn't quite so austere as a traditional subway tile. We have a large brick wall in our kitchen that has been painted white, and we felt that this shape echoed the shape of the bricks nicely.
You go to all the work, putting in so many different pieces, and then the final bit of jewelry for the kitchen are the cabinet poles.
Yeah.
And I wanted gold.
And I didn't. I was looking more for a brushed nickel look that would complement the stainless steel stove. But we went ahead and ordered them, and then I saw them, and once again, Monique was right. It adds a bit of color that pulls up the wood flooring and also pulls up some of the coloration in the marble. It's just beautiful.
With the oak flooring that we have, it's a very warm tone. It's a very warm honey tone. And we wanted to find a granite that had just a little bit of that ochre.
Yeah.
Just a little tiny bit of that color.
And everything we were looking at had it. So we were already looking for that color. But the pulls really, you get the floor, the pulls, that little bit of ochre, it ties it in just beautifully. we started to look at the appliances. One of the things I like, and I spend a lot of time in the kitchen, is
Howard is the main cook in our house.
I want to get higher end appliances. In my previous home, I had Wolf. I like Wolf. The aesthetics of Wolf are nice, and they tend to be more associated with high end kitchens. And we kind of want to, even though our house is not high end by any stretch of anyone's imagination, I just wanted a workspace that I felt comfortable in. And so we went with Wolf. Microwave. It's a drawer style microwave from Wolf. We kind of like that for just the safety.
Just the novelty of it.
And
the safety.
And the safety, and then also, it's a much better place than like above the stove where you normally see it. It's easier to get to.
When you heat up a bowl of soup, it's a lot nicer to reach down and lift up than lift something that could burn you down onto it. So it's really, it's much safer having the slide out microwave.
As a result, we saved a lot of money. We have the kitchen that we always wanted. Thanks to you, sweetheart, and
Thanks to
design.
Well, we worked together.
Yeah.
We worked together. We knew what we wanted. We were able to communicate what we wanted. And rather than spending $75,000 to $100,000 on a contractor,
150.
150, and then add on to that the appliances. Yeah, that was $150,000 without appliances.
Yeah, we pretty much got everything with appliance, granite, hood, sink. Everything's new for basically slightly over $75,000, and that was the base number from the first contractor. And we looked at 3 or 4 contractors, so it wasn't like we were getting a wide range of prices. Pretty much everybody was in that 75 to 150 ballpark, just for the cabinets and just for the basic cheap granite.
Yeah.
We took care of everything with the high-end granite appliances for the minimal. So really happy, and it's beautiful, sweetheart. It's like you, really beautiful.
You cook beautifully in it.
Ah.
He makes me some wonderful dishes. Maybe I'll throw some of your cooking on this video.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The kitchen is wonderful. We love it. We have been very, very satisfied with it. It's been a long time coming for this video, but we have really, really enjoyed the kitchen, and we're not the least bit tired of it, and I don't think we ever will be.
It's wonderful. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you. I love you bunches. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me, Howard.
My pleasure, sweetheart.
And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I will talk to you very soon.